tell you a great story. I was once at North Las Vegas Airport, good old VGT. I'm getting ready to fly with a pilot. I walk up to his airplane, he goes, "Hey Mossy, my pre-flight inspection is all complete." I'm like, "That's great. I'm gonna do a wide 360. And what do I find when I do the wide 360? A hole big enough to fit a Jeppesen binder through. What happened? One of the maintenance inspection panels had broken off on the flight before and totally left the airplane and come loose. The pros always do a wide 360. Now the wide 360 might be something new for you, but it's actually quite logical. The key thing is, this does not replace my pre-flight inspection. I've already done a pre-flight inspection per the checklist, but now what I'm doing is the wide 360. Right before I do my wide 360, I turn the BAT2 switch on. This gives the Avidyne primary flight display the 3 minutes it needs to initialize. That way, when I'm done with my wide 360, the PFD is up and running. And what I like to do is put my hands in my pocket and just take a nice, slow orbit around the airplane. And here I'm looking for anything out of the ordinary. I can already see that my left wheel's got the chocks on. Remember, I'm now ready to go flying, so I'm making sure the plane is in order to fly. So obviously that's my first problem, is the chocks. And as I come around, I'm just making sure I'm looking at all the different areas part of the plane. The antenna is good, the wing is in order, the elevator looks good, I'm happy with the rudder. I'm looking for anything out of the ordinary, fluid that would be underneath the airplane. The Cirrus is particularly vulnerable if you decide to taxi with the tail still tied down. You see, the tail tie down is actually attached to the aft bulkhead. Typically, when you're doing your pre-flight inspection, you know you're up close and you're intimate with the airplane. Getting away and doing the wide 360 allows you to actually catch if there was any problem. It gives you that nice perspective that's wide. As I come around to the front of the airplane, my friend Mike Radomski used to be the president of the Cirrus Owners and Pilots Association, taught me this trick. Right when you get to the very front of the nose, he likes to squat. And he squats down because he wants to take a look at the aerodynamic perspective of the airplane flying through the air. I'm looking for something asymmetrical. So I want to make sure the flaps are symmetric, the wheels are symmetric, there's not one wheel hanging down lower than another, and that this is the way the airplane will fly through the air. Now, as I've squatted here, I actually have caught a problem. As I stand on up, I can actually see that one of my oil door latches is open. You can clearly see that. So again, the wide 360 gave me that perspective. And then what I like to do is I like to turn my head and look to see the direction in which I'm going to taxi. I'm looking to see if there are any threats that I could possibly hit. Once a fellow flight instructor and I were getting ready to go flying, we both did our wide 360s in opposite directions, and we both missed a big red cone that was right in front of the prop. Why? Because our wide 360s weren't wide enough. Trust me, you don't want to hit a red cone with the prop. So we have a pro tip for you, and that is, if you exit the aircraft, always redo the wide 360. You never know while you went inside to the FBO to use the restroom or to fetch your friend's sweater, what the line personnel may have done to the aircraft. So our pro tip is, when you come back to the aircraft, right before you get in to shut the door, be sure you redo the wide 360. If you make this a habit, it will absolutely save you a ton of aggravation. More importantly, a boatload of moolah.